Another brutal day on Wall Street, just as cliche, right? Felicia Taylor joins us from our business desk in New York to tally up the damage today. Felicia, I figured I could get a laugh in the beginning because there's not much to laugh about today on the markets.
I was about to say, you're the only person that made me laugh today. It was a pretty brutal day. There's no question about it. The Dow Industrials plunged below the 7,000 level. It was just 6 weeks ago that it fell below 8,000. The financial sector was the main culprit after the government reworked its bailout of AIG for a third time, and that comes on the heels of a $62 billion quarterly loss for the insurer. So do some math. It works out, believe it or not, to a loss of about $27 million per hour every day in the 3-month period.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like $7,750 a second or something crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers as they settle in. The Dow Industrials tumbled 4.25%. That's a loss of 300 points. They closed at 67.63. The blue chip average has now lost 2,000 points since the beginning of this year. That's the worst 2-month start in the 113-year history of the Dow. The Nasdaq Composite lost almost 4%, and the S&P slid 4 2/3%. The S&P 500 is at its lowest level since October of '96. Reggie?
Ooh, okay. Well, we also heard another big headline today in the financial world, and this is about a bank that is slashing jobs and looking for other places to try and do a little better. What bank are we talking about here?
We're talking about HSBC, which is a European-based bank, but it also has major operations here in the United States, or I should say had. It's going to close 800 branches in the U.S. and end most of its consumer lending business here. So in doing that, it's going to eliminate more than 6,000 jobs. The closings affect U.S. branches that specialize in mortgage and consumer lending, as the bank seeks to scale down its involvement in the American mortgage market. People just aren't lending basically anyway. Branches to be closed include HSBC's Beneficial Bank brand, and employees have already begun to receive their 30-day notices. The decision comes as HSBC reported its full-year net profit dropped, 70% last year. Shares of HSBC that trade here in the United States were off 19% today.
And they were one of the banks that was not receiving any money from the government. So, interesting.
They were supposed to be kind of on the okay list.
Yeah, they were supposed to be solid. I guess not.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Let's talk about this alleged Ponzi scheme, a really big one involving the Texas financier Robert Allen Stanford. Apparently, investors got some news today, not what they were looking for either.
Yeah, you know, these Ponzi schemes seem to be popping up all over the place. Those caught by this alleged $8 billion fraud are unlikely to get back much of their money that they invested with Stanford's various companies. We know that story. Now, after reviewing the company's records, the court-appointed receiver told a federal district court judge in Dallas that hundreds of millions of dollars in assets remain, but nowhere near the billions that are actually owed. The judge extended the freeze on assets of Stanford's businesses, which is all fine and good. That's sort of normal practice. But the blocking of these accounts can create significant hardship for some. And the receiver says he's working on accounts that are less than $100,000 to actually be released from that injunction by March 16th, hopefully giving them a little bit of a helping hand. But those who bought certificates of deposit from Stanford may have to wait longer. Last week, FBI agents served Stanford's chairman with court orders against him and 3 of his companies. That claim accused Stanford and another executive of conducting another massive Ponzi scheme by misappropriating billions of dollars and falsifying financial statements to conceal the fraud. Stanford faces civil charges, but not criminal charges, at least not yet. Reggie?
Wow. That was a lot to take in for one business report. So anyway, a horse
busy
walks into a
Monday.
bar. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get back to that again. All right, Felicia Taylor, thanks so much.